Hey guys, so I just got this palette in the mail. This is the Juicy Boost palette by Raine. I wanted to do a quick eye look and review slash first impressions on this palette. So this is actually the first palette I've ever purchased from Raine. So I'm really excited about it. I've been wanting to try Raine eyeshadows for a long time. I actually had my eye on the I forget what it's called. It's their like rainbow palette though. It's their rainbow pigment palette. But it's been out of stock for a long time. And so I was waiting for that to come back. They said it was going to come back in August. It actually never did. I think they wanted it to be back in stock sooner. And then, you know, COVID, things are just a little bit slower going than normal. So, that's still not in stock, but they ended up releasing this and I had to get my hands on it. I'm such a colorful eyeshadow lover and this is just so cute. So it does come in this packaging. It's like a little sleeve. And then this is the actual palette. So the palette itself does match that little cardboard box that it comes in, which I really like because this is so cute. And then inside, this is what it looks like. It also does have a pretty decent sized mirror in there as well. So I do like that. So these are all the colors that you get. Every single shade is named after some sort of fruit. So we've got like blueberry burst, coconut water, cucumber avocado, mint leaves. So I guess not fruit, but food. So it's a really rainbow palette, not in the necessarily traditional sense of a rainbow palette being, you know, every color of the rainbow, but it's clearly very colorful. The thing that I really also like about this is that when I saw this, I was like, oh man, do I need to get this if I'm planning on getting the other one? Is it really necessary to have both? Or should I wait for the other one, or should I just get this one and not the other one? But really looking at this one compared to the other one, I feel like that one does have more of a rainbow-esque vibe where it covers all of the range of colors. And this one doesn't do that, but the colors are super unique. The colors that really for me stand out the most, this Watermelon Detox, like I knew I had to have this palette when I saw this color. It's so gorgeous. That is what is all over my lid. And then I have this color, Sweet Ruby, just like a little bit, because I did want to try one of the shimmer shades, just like sort of on the center of my lid. They do have, every single shade is matte from here over. And then these shades here are shimmery shades. Now this Sweet Ruby shade, even in the pan and then also using it, I could tell is more textured. It feels more like a glittery eyeshadow than like your standard shimmer shadow formula. The other ones though feel more like a shimmer, but this one is just like, it's a lot more chunky. So just keep that in mind. I really love the colors though. The color selection is really pretty. I feel like there's a lot of different looks you can get out of this palette. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. So the look I have on my eyes today is from this palette. I used these shades Watermelon Detox, which is this one. And then I used this shade Turmeric Shot, like sort of to blend it out. And then just a little bit of Citrus Ginger, this lighter shade, to blend that out a little bit. And then, like I said, that Sweet Ruby shade all over the lid. So for me, I felt like these shadows actually really performed very well. They do say it is a pigment palette, so it's not technically an eyeshadow palette, meaning that there are some shades in here, I'm not sure how many, but there are some shades in here that are not necessarily FDA approved for use on the eyes because they can cause staining. A lot of times that means it has also red dye in there. I'm trying to see if it actually says anywhere that it has red dye. Yeah, it has red dyes, and a lot of times those are the dyes that can potentially cause irritation. For me, they do, and they also can cause staining. So for a lot of people, it's not going to be an irritant. Mostly it's the staining issue. That is why they have to say it's a pigment palette. So it does say on the back, Juicy Boost Pressed Pigments and Shadows. So I'm sure there are some in here that are completely fine and some that are not. I'm assuming that these shades here might have some red dyes in them, and those are probably the ones that technically have to be pigments. Purples, reds, pinks, kind of known for this and known for staining, so just keep that in mind. Oh yep, it does say right here, not intended for use in the immediate eye area, strawberry apple, cranberry vanilla, sweet ruby, berry beet, and watermelon detox. So that's going to be all of these shades and this one right here that they're saying is not intended for the immediate eye area, partly because of the dyes, and then I wonder if this one isn't also because of the fact that, like I said, it does feel like more of a glittery consistency, and I wonder if it's the colors in there or if it's like the texture, and you know how glitters are not safe for the eye area because it can get in your eye, cause irritation that way. So that might be the reason for that particular shade. But as far as how they performed, I felt like they performed beautifully. I had no issues blending. I felt like they layered pretty well. I didn't go over a white base or anything. I just used my P. Louise base. This is in the shade 1. So this is the base that I used for today's video. Decent base for sure. I usually don't have issues with it, so it blended beautifully. I feel like the shadows really went on the eye, very true to color. So like as you can see, this watermelon detox color really does have that still like really punchy, bright color that you see in the pan, so that's really nice. This orange shade is beautiful, and I like that as I applied more of it, it got richer and deeper, and so you have some versatility there as well. If you want to build up the color to be a little bit deeper, this is a really nice versatile shade, I think. So I really like that the colors really come off on your eyes how they do in the pans, because sometimes that's the issue that you have with really any eyeshadow palette, if it's not good quality, but especially with brights, I feel like, because when you buy an eyeshadow palette this bright, you really are looking for those bright colors to come off on your eyes. And I feel like that's sometimes the issue with any palette that really isn't, you know, good quality, but especially for bright eyeshadow palettes. It's just so disappointing when you see a beautiful color in the pan and then you put it on your eyes and they don't even look like they're from the same planet. That's always such a disappointment. So it was really nice to see that these colors really came off on my eyes the same. Now, I can't really say that this whole palette performs beautifully yet, because I've only used a couple shades. The watermelon detox, beautiful. Turmeric shot, beautiful. Citrus ginger even was really pretty and really pigmented. So it's such a light shade, and so with those you just never know. But it was really pigmented, and then the sweet ruby shade was also really pretty. And surprisingly, I put it on with my finger, so maybe that helped, but I didn't get a ton of fallout from it, so that was nice. So I haven't used a ton of these shades yet. I'm only just diving into it, but so far I'm very impressed, and I'm really excited to continue to try the Colored Raine formula. I'm definitely, after this, gonna go out and buy that rainbow palette that I was talking about earlier. As soon as they bring that back, I'm gonna be purchasing that as well. This palette does retail for $52, so that's how much I paid for the palette. You can always find 10% off coupons though as well. There's like a ton online, so use that if you're gonna get it. There is free shipping, I believe over $60 for US, so just get this and like add one of their makeup sponges and you should be good with free shipping and get the 10% off. You'll be great. It does come in another version as well, so it's going to be the same exact shades, but instead of this format where it's just one like longer, bigger palette, like tabletop palette, it's cut in half, and it's more of a book style where there's a layer with half the shades and then you lift that and then there's a layer underneath. Now for me, I don't understand that version. That's just not my style. I would rather have them in an easy format like this where I can see all the shades, all my options all at the same time, especially if you're going to go back and forth between blending in different colors. I don't want to have to constantly go between layers. I would rather just have them all in one layer like this. Like maybe if this was double the size, I could see where that would be huge for some people to store, but I don't think it's that big where this is going to be that hard to store for people. It's really thin. It's not that terribly big. I have a notebook right here and it's a similar size to the notebook, so it's not that big in my opinion where they needed to have both versions, but just keep that in mind. You do have that option as well if you would prefer to have it in a little bit of a smaller compact. So other than that, I really don't have a lot more to share with you guys. So far, I really like it. I'm excited to play with it more. I love the color story. I think that these shades are just super, super unique. You can do a lot of really, really fun things with this palette. You can do sort of more monochromatic looks, or you can mix up the colors and do more of a fun rainbowy look if you wanted to. So I really think it's cool. I personally like the split of shimmers and mattes. I kind of prefer my bright colors to be in a matte version rather than a shimmery version. I feel like so many brands do shimmery colors rather than matte colors. I don't know if that's necessarily because the formula is maybe harder to do in a matte bright, but I really appreciate that these are matte shades. I mean, they could have maybe done a few more shimmers. I also wish that like this color here was more of a like bright or deeper like purple shade, but it makes it a little bit more wearable and a little bit easier to make more daytime wearable looks. So not every single look has to look as bright and maybe intimidating as the one that I did today. So there is a vast variety of looks that you can get with this palette, which I do really, really like as well. So far, yeah, I really like it. My first impression is really good and I cannot wait to try more from Colored Raine. And that's really all I have for you guys today. So thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!